Everybody got their nice drinkies. We got another week of Queen's Ransom with my lovely lady Amber. How are we, Amber? Clinkies?
Cheers. Oh, I just broke my glass, but that's okay. Hello, friend. Thank you for joining me today. Queen's Ransom Week 4. Our lovely ladies fantasy football Blondie and Team Schmoopy Janae are out of town. So here we are to break down Week 4 for you.
Yeah. I mean, we had enough TV screen of Taylor Swift and Kelsey, so Amber and I are going to bring our own Kelsey and Taylor Swift, even though they're a little more famous than we are and make just a tiny bit more money. But,
yeah. So you know what I actually thought? I was actually going to surprise you and tell you that's all we were going to talk about today.
Oh, awesome. Because that's what people want to hear. They just want to hear about Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift because that didn't bore the shit out of everybody.
I know. Did you see all the trash talk on certain pages that were like, I'm gonna unfollow you for posting about this everywhere? And they're like, okay.
I gotta say, my wife and I were laughing. My wife showed me clips of a bunch of girls showing their boyfriends videos of like, oh my God, now they put Travis Kelsey on the map. Thank God for Taylor Swift. And they're like, dude, he's a Hall of Famer, bro.
Like, he's on the map. Like my sister-in-law, Rachel, in this league, there was a post about something that he needs a breeder. And I was like, tag. Let's get him in the fan bam. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God. So yeah, Taylor Swift and Kelsey, they stole the show for the most part. But this week, Amber and I are going to bring up, we got a London game showing up Sunday morning.
Ooh, London, what's up? We're going to, look who's here. Albert.
Loyal as ever. Albert, thanks for coming on every single show. We appreciate it. And you are loyal as can be, my man. Tell
you
me,
are.
Now, are you a Swiftie, Albert, or are you a Kelsey?
Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Are you a Swiftie or you a Kelsey? But yeah, we got the Jaguars and Falcons on Sunday morning. You got to wake up with your coffee, and if you drink booze that early, good for you. I mean, if you still have booze on your breath from the night before, even better. But when you're my age, I put my sweats on right after work, and you have to drag me out of the house.
150%. We were just talking, and I literally had to put my pants on last week to go out once. It was.
I forgot how to zipper up jeans.
I don't even own jeans.
Yeah. Son of a bitch. We got to go to the store first. Oh, my God. Pants.
So let's talk about that. The abysmal play from Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars. I've been a little nervous because I have drafted Trevor Lawrence I have him in this league, Queen's Ransom, as we speak of, and it has definitely carried me to 0-3.
Now, at 0-3, Amber, you're a Trevor Lawrence owner. Are you looking to trade him? You hoping for him to come back out of this? So what's the deal with him?
So I guess with the London game, so they have experience in this London game, and they have a couple years experience going there and making sure they take care of the jet lag and just being prepared. And the Falcons don't, and they're also a young team as well. So I'm really looking forward to, I'm going to play him one more week. I did just acquire CJ Stroud on the waiver. So I'm really going to leave it up to Saturday night to see how I feel about the situation and maybe make some moves, because I think it's going to have to go with gut instinct at this point, because I don't know if it's the jitters or if it's I don't know what's going on with him. I mean, what would you say? What do you feel is going on with him? Because it's just the plays aren't being made.
And you know what? I think it's a lot of players in this league. Like I also have people like Drake London, who's going to be in that game, who is doing absolutely nothing. You have Trevor Lawrence, who's doing absolutely nothing. And then when your team's like you 0-3 or a team that's 1-2, you're like, yeah, I know it's early in the season, but you're kind of in panic mode. You're like, I got to make a change or something. Stroud, like you said, is an amazing pickup. If Jordan Love is still on the waivers, if Purdy's still on the waivers, check your waivers out, see who's available. But yeah, week 3, Trevor Lawrence is good enough where, all right, I'll give you that extra week before I, try to look to make a move, but also gain value, because what are you really going to get for him? Really nothing.
Right, exactly. And that's when everybody's like, oh, buy low. And I'm like, that means I have to sell all of my shares. I have to sell low. And I don't know if I'm into that. Also, for some awareness, women don't really trade. They just don't. We experienced this last year. This year, there has been nobody. There's no one on the trade block. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and share the screen. And we are going to check out what's going on here because.
Yeah, and my wife is one of those people where I don't even think she knows the definition of what a trade is. I'm like, dude, your team is loaded with people. You could get better. She's like, I'm not changing what I got. I'm doing really well. I'm like, yeah, but you have guys to make. You got people to trade.
So here we are in the league, right? We've got your wife 3-0. Hello, point scored 342. She's murdering everyone.
Yes, and she's doing that. Her first draft pick was Jonathan Taylor, so he's not even playing yet.
Yeah, she literally killed it. I can't remember her draft position. I don't know if you do.
It was in the middle, and embarrassingly, and it is on video because we do have that draft live. Some of her picks, I raised my eyebrows, and I think I knocked some things off the table. And she's making me look like an absolute idiot.
I actually laughed last week because when I went and looked at what she had going on, I was like, all right, so he's eating all of those words because I remember that very specifically as I drafted like trash. And a distracted draft gets you nowhere. This is probably my worst year in fantasy football. I went 2-9 last week in all of my leagues. So picking up CJ Stroud, we've got Trevor Lawrence. Let's look at Javonte. Let's talk about the Denver Broncos. 0-3 Denver Broncos going against the 0-3 Chicago Bears.
Oh God, that's brutal. And honestly, what are you doing with Javonte? Because I wasn't a Javonte fan this year before the season started. That's another guy you're stuck with.
Yeah, I am definitely stuck with him. But I do see some promise because I will tell you why. The Bears, Javonte has an opportunity against my team. And again, I've been a Bears fan my whole life, and I'll never stop being one. So we'll just put that out there. The Bears, so they've allowed 7 touchdowns and the second most fantasy points to running backs. So I think that there's plenty of opportunity for Javonte this week. If there's not, we're at week 4 and it's time to really make some magic happen. I don't know what I'm going to do in a league that doesn't trade though. So
that is true, but you got to just knock on the door of people. And I got to say, I'm looking at your team and you're getting bad luck too. You have Jamar Chase, who's doing nothing because Joe Burrow clearly is playing on one leg. You have Javonte Williams, who there is a positive. Samaje Perine's getting less and less snap shares, and Javonte's getting more snap shares. So
right,
Williams should get more of a boom this week, especially versus Chicago. Waddle was hurt, so yeah, you're getting some bad luck here.
Yeah, I picked up Henry last week, and that didn't do me any justice. And then they played Dallas this week, so I got to figure out what to do there. But Garrett
Wilson lost Aaron Rodgers. You're hitting a brick wall right here.
You're making me feel much better, so thank you.
Yeah, Amber, I think you literally went into your car drinking and drove right into a brick wall. You were like, this is going to be a fun night. Good day and good night.
And I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, what was Pacheco? Yeah, so Pacheco was on my bench last week as well. And you never know. That's the thing about the Chiefs. You never know who's going to perform and who's going to put up the points with the Chiefs because they spread the ball out so much because Patrick Mahomes is the new GOAT.
Yeah, he is. He's awesome.
He's just
playing with scrubs and he looks good.
He's just so good at what he does. But all right, so let's move on. Let's go to our reigning champs real quick. Let's check them out. Let's go to our matchup.
They're 3-0.
Yeah. So hold on. Sorry, I'm not used to using this on. Here we go. So they're 3-0 as well, right below your wife. But your wife's got them put out by 100 and some points.
Her team's putting up points, yeah, for sure.
She's just murdering it out there. All right, so we've got TDs and tight ends against my sister-in-law, Rachel. I try to do my best Scotty impression there. We got Hurts against Herbert. I love this.
Yes.
Oh, this is sick. And I love that it's 50-50, right? Rachel's 1-2. She needs to, come back with a quickness. Miles Sanders, I'm a little nervous about that. Josh Jacobs, though, hasn't really been putting up numbers. I mean, I think his performance has been pretty bleak.
No.
But go ahead.
Yeah, let's see if Rachel also has somebody to maybe replace Gus Edwards with somebody.
Let's take a look real quick. We got Monty might be coming back.
That's good.
And then McKinnon, I have a feeling she might throw McKinnon in there. I think going up against the Jets, they're gonna run the ball. I mean, I think the O-line, KC's O-line, I think there's plenty of opportunity there. And then let's see, what do we got? Oh, and Ayuk, okay, and Kendre. So I know your favorite player in the entire league, Kamara, comes back this week, right?
Yeah, Kamara is back. Yes, he's coming back. He should be suspended again by week 6.
Yes, I think so.
I've given up on Kamara, but I mean, if you had him on your bench, you're happy this week because he's back. Alvin Kamara is back this week. But
okay,
we got Higgins and Cooper versus Diggs and Samuel.
Yep. So Higgins was in the blue tent last week.
Yes, got caught, but then he came back and played a little bit.
Okay, so I didn't watch the end of that game.
You muted a little bit. Maybe I muted. There we go.
All right. Can you hear me now?
I could hear. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. We just did that. Part of the gig.
Tech. It's our tech. It's just you put us together, we're gonna have a mess. It's fine.
Absolutely. My computer better, for Christ's sakes.
Sloppy sandwiches.
my tech guy. He's horrible.
So Higgins. Okay. So I was asking if you had the YouTube TV, the 4 screens going at the same time. Talk about ADD Central.
Oh yeah, that's what I need. I had to spin more. No, Higgins did. He did go to the tent. It was a scare, but he did come back to the game. But also, I don't. Deebo Samuel, how's he going to play now with Ayuk back? I don't trust Deebo.
Right.
Kelsey's a big upgrade over Evan Ingram.
Yeah, 100%. And we already know now he's on the mission to get touchdowns for Swift. So.
Oh yeah, Swift style.
He's a Swiftie. Treylon Burks and Chris Godwin. I feel like we've got a equal matchup at this point.
Yeah, we do. And Treylon Burks is probably going to be benched because he should be benched on every squad right now.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some moves made there. And then we've got San Francisco against Miami. So Miami defense going up against Buffalo's offense. It's going to be a heavy throwing game. I think it's going to be a shootout. So obviously, I think they're at this 489 they've got. I've never seen a defense ranked that low.
You're right, exactly.
I don't even think theirs is that low.
Miami kicked me in the nutsack a couple times in some of my matchups this past week, so that was horrible.
Yeah, so I think you know what, we got a nice solid matchup here. In my favor, I would like to see TDs and tight ends take a loss just because I'm only
right. Right.
So, and of course, I'm not favorable to my sister-in-law, but I guess I am. I really have to.
Yes. And actually, Nicole, I want my wife to be the only undefeated team. You're going to lose this week.
You know what? I wouldn't mind that because she's such a boss, and I just I can't even be mad at it. She's a teacher too. I'm like, oh no. So she's got to take the W's. Because right now, my life, I feel a little depressed about what's going on in life just because the way fantasy's going. So I'll be honest.
Yeah. Yes. I take extra drinks.
All right, and then let's take one quick look at. We got a lot of. So we got 1 and 2s. We got some 2 and 1s. Let's see where we're at. Stepmom Lauren took first place last week. Let's see what's going on here. Her against Kiki, who is also a boss. I mean, everybody's a boss in this league, right?
Yeah, no. You guys are queens. Yes, 1,000%.
So Stepmom Lauren took out a W even with Justin Fields on her team, but she has McCaffrey, Raheem Mostert, Devontae Adams. So,
oh my God, just them 3 alone. Stepmom Lauren, this week you're only allowed to play 4 players. Stop it.
Yeah, we're done here.
Everybody else.
Mostert sat looking at me on my bench and was really upset I didn't take him to dinner. So in other places, but Henry should be coming back from his injury, but he is injured. We know that older players can tend to get re-injured, especially workhorses. Lamar Jackson. Yeah, Lamar Jackson. What are you thinking about the Ravens? I believe their secondary is pretty banged up. I'm not feeling good about this game against Cleveland. I hate to say it, but Watson's looking a little better than he did 2 weeks.
he's getting warmed up, not to his Houston style yet, but Cleveland Browns defense is not being talked about enough. I think they're playing very well. Myles Garrett is the leader of that squad, and he is a fierce competitor, and he's going to be having Jackson run around back there. So it's going to be tough, definitely. And who's team? I'm sorry, that's Kiki. So with Lamar Jackson going against a underrated Cleveland Browns defense, you got Derrick Henry, who's dealing with some injuries. You got Zach Moss, who how really reliable can you really count on him? AJ Brown being outplayed by Devontae Smith, like it's
you know what? And that was called a few people called that, and I don't know what the target situation there is, but against Washington, I mean, you as a Commanders fan, I know that they have potential to be way better than they were last week, and I'm not sure what happened because I didn't get a chance to really watch that game in detail. So you want to break down how do you think they're going to perform against Philly?
I think they always play Philly very well. And last week versus the Bills, Sam Howell had a horrible game. But I am a Commanders fan. I'm a very realistic fan. I'm not so down on Sam Howell. I expect him to not play very well every game. He started off hot. He had a very bad game. He had 4 turnovers versus the Bills.
Didn't he have 9? Wasn't there like 9 sacks or was it 6?
Oh, he got destroyed. They didn't play well. The defense was on the field too long. It was a bad game. You want to after that game, wipe it out, start clean. The Eagles are even a better team than the Bills, but it's a division game. I think they're going to play them tight. But
with Bieniemy though, Bieniemy's going to tighten everybody up. He's going to get everybody focused and refocused. Like, I mean, look what he did with the Chiefs in several situations where everybody's like, "Oh, the Chiefs are out. The Chiefs are out. Get out of here," you know?
No.
Yeah.
They're going to be back rolling. I think it's going to be closer than you think, but I think Philly.
I agree. I just, as long as for me, I love watching games that I have an investment in players where I can literally root for both sides.
Yeah, exactly.
So Calvin Ridley. So Zay Jones is I have a feeling he's just going to be out. He's questionable now. I have a feeling he's going to be out. But again, in London, they've done this before, but Ridley has not. So I have a feeling there's going to be an uptick for Ingram this week. And Ridley really has to get his catch on because there was a major catch that would have changed the entirety of the game last week for them.
You know, and this is going to make you feel good. I think I'm going to put some money on the Jags. I have a good feeling about the Jags. You made a great point that the Jaguars play in London every year. They're used to the situation. They know when to get down there, get their rest, when to practice, get accumulated with the atmosphere and everything. So Ridley's having a great year. This is a great bounce back for Lawrence. And I'm not sold on the Falcons. So I think
they definitely have got some they've got a young squad. I mean, between Ritter, so we look at not just the Jags, but like Ritter, Pickett, and who else? And how I think has a better opportunity to excel than what we've seen from a few of the other younger sophomore, junior, quarterbacks. But I think that I really, you know what? And I just have a lot of investment in Jacksonville. So
come on, Jackson, please just
bring it out.
Points.
DJ Moore in this particular situation. I mean, if Mostert's not going to have the game he had last week, he's never going to have that game again. I have a very strong feeling. Waddle's coming back as well. I mean, so DJ Moore, I mean, it's not like they can compensate for that. And the Chargers are gonna with Adams. Garoppolo is in concussion protocol, I believe.
He is, and who's the guy behind them? But going back to Mostert, you also have Justin Wilson coming back too. So Mostert's a guy on your fantasy teams that you want to trade away now.
Now, right? Because we already had a feeling there was people. So in analyst leagues, a chain. I found out a chain is how you say it, not a chain. A chain was being drafted along with a few other rookies. Obviously, I try to stay away from rookies, and I really dove into them this year. So who do we got behind? We got Brian Hoyer behind Garoppolo. I have a feeling Jacobs is going to be running that, but they're going to run. It's going to be a run game for sure.
I agree with you.
And then let's see, we've got DJ Moore. You know what? It's hard to rely on at this point. Obviously, we can't rely on Justin Fields to do his job. Luke Getsky, I don't know. There's a whole mess. There's a whole dumpster fire going on over in Chicago, and It's so funny because I'm not even sad. I'm just so used to it.
I trust me. You're talking to a Commander fan.
I love it.
We don't even get our team name right. DJ Moore is like Terry McLaurin. Like he's such
Yeah.
a frustrating fantasy receiver because in real life he's very good, but he's in situations that are not helping him at all.
Right. Absolutely. And that's what sucks is because we saw some monster plays from him in Carolina last year, and you were like, there he is. There he is. And it was all because of the bad quarterback play. And here he is in another situation where, again, high hopes that we had. But, you know, there was a few posts I saw earlier this year that were like, Justin Fields can't throw. And of course I argued with that person, and I was like, we don't know that, you know, and you know what? The tape don't lie. My man's got a problem. So we can blame the O-line all we want. We stocked up, but you know, we still have some work to do, but we're young and we put too much investment, I think, in these Gen Z years, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I 100% agree.
All right, going back. All right, we got Kittle and Andrews. Love that. Let's do that. I might have to watch their game the whole time. I'm not even going to look at my own score. Mike Evans and Tyler Lockett.
Old school. I mean,
yeah.
In 2019, that's a great matchup.
I kind of want to watch these teams actually play. Like,
exactly. Guys, can you just for 1 week help us fantasy people and you guys just play on the same team here, please?
And get it together, right? New Orleans, Jacksonville, so be it. All right, so we got Howell on the bench, Breida. Let's talk about Breida and Akers real quick. I think, what do you think about Breida?
I think Barkley's back this. Is Barkley back? I think Barkley might be back this year. I think Akers is not this week, but I think he's going to take over the Vikings starting a stretch to play in week 4.
Stretch to play.
Playing. All right, he's not playing. So
we already know. Injured players say injured. I love Barkley, but when he's hurt, he's hurt. He's got to, we got to rest him, right? So
yeah. I wouldn't expect a lot from Barkley, but as for Akers, maybe not this week, but moving forward, Akers is the guy to own in Minnesota, in my opinion. He has worked with O'Connell with the Rams, and I think he's going to take over as the RB1.
Right on. And it's Madison actually showed some improvement this week, but he still isn't, though. He is not a number 1, right?
It just seems like he was so nervous, like he was fumbling. He was like in a rush. He didn't just play his game, which is frustrating as a Madison fantasy owner. But
you know what? And I got to say, I got to put this on and just have a little deeper level talk about the Vikings, right? Like I've been talking about my division, right? More than I've talked about any team. And it's so weird because I'm like rooting for my other teams in my division. But Kirk Cousins, because he puts so much weight on himself during the game, he doesn't know how to shake that off. It's probably because he doesn't drink and he only has sex missionary. But I was like, but at the end of the day, like Kirk Cousins puts too much pressure on himself when he messes up a play. He sits on that play for the rest of the time. So ultimately, like I think that carries down to people like Madison, but I think Akers can pull through. Like he was confused about his trade, but now he's there. He's got a team he landed on. It makes me think of Ballers, right? With Ricky Jerry. Just get me somewhere and get me paid.
100%. And honestly, Akers has the skill. I don't know what happened behind the scenes. I really hope it's not his personality. I'm hoping it was just a team thing because he can ball out when he balls out.
We already know that him and Sean McVay, though, they didn't match up well. They weren't a good fit together. I think that there was definitely some temperamental shit going on between the two of them. So I really do believe that there's an opportunity here. I'm not going to say that he's going to come out RB1 flailing, but I think that there's going to be some flex there, especially in deeper leagues. This might not be one of them, but that's okay.
Right.
And then that leads us on to Gainwell. God, I don't even want to talk about Gainwell because like there's been so much talk about Gainwell, and let's check it out here. Gainwell.
He gets 4. He's just basically a thorn in Swift's side, isn't he?
Yes.
He just wants to ruin Swift owners. Swift, Talking about Akers, who's more annoying fantasy player, Akers or Swift? At least
and it's funny that I think I drafted Swift in 2 different leagues, and then I won't touch him with somebody else's mouse. But
yes, I can't say that on this show, but you can.
I meant the mouse.
I don't want to get us cut off. Oh, shit.
All right. So Khalil Herbert, I think that we definitely have a committee. We already know that, right? So he's at 55% of the snap shares. We got him and Roshan going back and forth, but they can't even run because the offensive line can't get them through the hole. So here we are. Again, another bad reference. But moving up and on, Jalen Warren, Cortland Sutton. So Jerry Jeudy has another injury. I think that he is, let's see, where are we at with Judy's update? Because I just read, let's see, he's got limited with a knee injury. So he's limited.
My God, this guy does not stop getting hurt.
Hey, injured players stay injured. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
We have a person in the chat. We got Matt C. He has Jahmyr Gibbs, Swift, and Cook. Which one should I try to trade off?
Now which Cook? Is it James Cook or Dalvin?
True.
I would keep James Cook and Jahmyr Gibbs and try to deal Swift.
Yeah, I was going to say you're going to get the most value for Swift right now. And that's where you need to get production off of that. So James Cook. All right, let's bring it up. Here we go. James Cook.
Yeah. So I'm a huge James Cook fan this year. And I think that's probably one of my few predictions I got right so far. But no, James Cook is in a great position being in a high-powered offense. Jahmyr Gibbs is very explosive. And like Amber and I just said, Gainwell is a thorn in Swift's side. Swift is playing great. Hopefully your league mates see that. So try to deal Swift. That's
100%. I think we still have a lot to see from Gibbs. And also he's not trade worthy at this point. I mean, I think that there's people out there that feel the same way. They're like, that there might be something down the line, but you're not going to get as much for him as you drafted him for.
Exactly.
So, yeah, 100%. I'm all about the Swift trade if you can get the right price, right?
Matt, what positions are you looking for? Maybe Amber and I can help you with possible players to look for Swift. So give us a position and we'll try to rattle our brain.
Yeah, and then Matt also said, I don't trust Gibbs or Swift, but Sirianni proved that he will give an RB the full workload in Sanders. Ooh.
I hear you, but Monty is dealing with issues with injuries, and even when he played well, Gibbs was still getting passes. If you're in a full PPR, Gibbs is the guy to have.
So, question: you were about to hiccup on one PPR. Is that how it used to be called? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, dude. I'm a 40-year-old old man. We go one PPR because we used to start with no PPR. Man. No,
I love it.
Gibbs, like Swift had that huge game when Gainwell didn't play. I don't.
We're good. No, we're good.
No,
so yeah, Maddie, let us know what you need, player wise, and we'll work on that. Because
Swift had his huge game when Gainwell didn't play. Gainwell took 14 snaps from last game. So
yeah, so I did some research in the offseason. Cortland Sutton is somebody I drafted in numerous places in numerous leagues, right? And last year it did not produce. Obviously, we saw the Broncos' performance. But obviously, Russell is finding his man in him and Mims, right? Of course, we know Russell loves the deep ball. Apparently, he couldn't get the ball deep enough because he was trying to make a baby. I don't know what was going on with that, but
I don't know what.
I gotta make bad jokes all the way through this. But it looks like, but it looks like Sutton's coming through, and I think that Sutton is worth trading for at this point. I think that he is going to produce throughout the season as the Broncos try to redeem themselves, especially with Sean Payton. Maddie let us know. He's looking for an elite. Here we go. So Maddie said elite wide receiver or an elite running back. He has Keenan Allen, Ridley, Bijan, James Cook, Swift, and Gibbs. I like that. I understand why you need to trade, though.
Bijan, James Cook, and Gibbs I'm happy with. Trade Swift and are you keeping Ridley or Allen, Amber? I would book Swift with one of those guys for an elite wide receiver.
Yeah, I think you can definitely. So I'm not out on Jamar Chase or Joe Burrow. I think that I don't think their season's done, but I still think they're going to produce fantasy wise, right?
Swift and Ridley for Chase.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But I'm also thinking, who else can we pull up on Let's see.
You're not going to touch Tyreek Hill. That team is going to love him. Justin
No.
Jefferson, you're not going to grab.
All right. So, here we go. Swift and Ridley for Devontae.
No. You're not giving up too much because you have Bijan, Gibbs, and James Cook. You're set at running back.
Yeah, but I feel like though Swift
that's not a big enough upgrade.
Swift and Ridley for Devontae, I feel like is a little too much. Who do you have that you can package in with Swift so somebody's team's got to be slightly dying. I feel like because Ridley's not done, and Ridley's gonna, once Lawrence gets his shit together.
I tell you, I know, true, but I would go after Chase. Chase, if you get something small on the get-go, I would go after Chase. I go aggressive. See, Amber's like, I go. I'm either like I go in half-ass, and people are like, dude, you're not giving me enough, or I go, is Scott drunk? He's giving me a lot.
All right.
And James Cook for Eckler? No, he's hurt.
Yeah. So here's the thing about Eckler. He was one of my favorite players of all time, and I love him to death, but he is older, right? We talked about this all season. A lot of people weren't drafting him in the first round due to in Dynasty just because of his age. I am concerned about the workload when he gets back because we saw what they did with Kelly, and I don't like it. Yeah. I don't like it because it was nothing. You're looking for elite RB? No, you don't want Eckler. We don't want. Let me hear.
And Gibbs and James Cook are the guys I'm telling you to keep. What are you doing?
Yeah, let's see. Let's keep. All right, what do we got here? Let's see. Do you want to trade away? All right, what are you thinking? Oh, man, I don't know. Okay, so it's Devontae, but Swift and Ridley for Devontae, I feel like it's too much.
No, it is too much because Ridley and Devontae could be similar. I mean, the Raiders suck, and especially with Garoppolo out. I know Devontae Adams just had a game that was off the charts, but Ridley and Devontae don't give me that. It doesn't tickle me.
What about Swift? Here we go. Oh, he hates Dan Campbell. Okay, here we go. I hate Dan Campbell. I don't want to root for the Lions solely because of him.
I respect that.
He said his man crush on Jameson Williams and Montgomery annoys the heck out of me.
All right, fine. Fuck Gibbs. You're right, Matt. I'm with you, Matt. You know what? Bite his knees off. Gibbs and James Cook for we're going back.
But instead of Eckler, go for somebody who's really like. Okay, so let's obviously there's a lot of running backs that are injured.
Pollard.
Yeah.
Is Pollard a guy?
Yeah, get Gibbs. We're gonna put them together. We're putting them together.
Lots of wine.
No, we're gonna trade Gibbs for Josh Jacobs. I think that's a reasonable trade. The other thing I was thinking too is DeAndre Swift for Devonta Smith.
Yes, that's a nice trade.
Yeah.
That's a nice trade.
Yeah.
Smith for Devontae Smith. That's a good trade.
I think because right now you can sell high. So I think that's where your opportunity is at.
Yeah, and that's true. And if you want to go for a up running back, Gibbs and Swift in the deal. Wow.
Is that about Gibbs or my
Yeah. Good trades. Oh, okay.
Good trades. Thanks, man.
Try those out, man. See what happens. Did Kiki just make a roster move?
Probably. Let's see.
I just saw it. Swift for Devontae Smith is a good move, and then going after Pollard would be a running back I'd go after.
Oh, she did.
I saw it just come up.
It did. All right. Well, here we are.
Kiki.
See, this is why. Okay, so this is why I drafted terribly, and I'm 0-3. Well, I didn't draft terribly. You're right. I did hit a brick wall because I drank and drove.
Oh.
It's fine.
Don't do that.
No. All right. Let me stop this share because we're gonna end this shortly here. Oh, Hold on.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm still learning how to work this thing, guys. It's fine.
Woo!
It's all right. It's not because of the wine, I swear to God. It's because I don't know how to work this camera and host at the same time. And that's what happened to me during drafting.
Yes.
So ultimately, I think that Josh Palmer, if you didn't pick him up, I think that there's an opportunity there for him to really finally show out.
Who do you want moving forward, Amber? Josh Palmer or Cortland Sutton?
I trust Herbert more, so Josh Palmer.
Gotcha.
What about you?
Palmer. Yeah, no, I don't trust Cortland Sutton, but I don't also. I'm gonna ride the Sutton train.
You should, and I think so. There were some stats that I listened to, and it was regarding the air yards. Sutton had quite a few drops last year, but as he was being covered, there was many more opportunities for him. He was being double covered in a lot of games last year because I think that everybody was looking at that. So they were looking to cover him. They were trying to take care of it. And I think that they did their job. And so here we are. They took his job. And so now we're in a new season. Sean Payton is really whipping them into shape. I think there was some ego going into the beginning of the season. Now everybody's starting to calm down a little bit. So
absolutely.
Oh, here, wait. Let's check out what Maddie said. He said, I spent 37 of Fab of 100 on Palmer. Palmer on Kellen Moore offense. Why aren't more people excited about Josh Palmer?
Hey, that's a good way to end the show. Matt, I appreciate you hitting us up. Hit us up every Wednesday. Follow my Sunday morning show. But
that's the bomb right there. The Sunday morning show. What time do you start at?
Well, yeah, 11:30 Eastern time to game time. So 11:30 Eastern time to game time. So an hour and a half before game times for whatever part of the world you live in. Okay.
Yeah, start sits, all that. They take care of all the business. Also, he pounds coffee, straight coffee to the veins.
Exactly. So. Exactly. And I sometimes get naked on the show, so check it out. If it makes you disgusted, you can throw up with me. No.
Also, you guys, so Fantasy Football Advice Network is not just a YouTube channel. It's not just an Instagram. It is a full-on app, okay? It's all football all the time, all fantasy football all the time. Go download the app in your app store, Google Play, Apple App Store, and check it out. So you have there's tiered pricing, and right now there is a 25% off coupon for, I probably shouldn't use the word coupon, whatever. I'm not a good marketer, but that's fine. 25% off using the promo code kickoff. All right. If I had graphics, I would share them, but I don't.
And
so get on there. We've got a lot of content creators on there. There's a lot of people who have a lot of fantasy football knowledge that can provide you with what you need all in one place, so you're not filtering through ads and then Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce posts.
Exactly. And if you haven't already, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and you can see us every single Wednesday for the Queen's Ransom and Sunday morning Spilled Coffee with all your updates on injuries, ad drops, and advice you need. We'll answer for you live.
All right. Right on. Check you guys next week.
Peace.